couple of days ago, the UK Prime Minister, which is Sunak, was interviewed, and he was expected to share his thoughts on his, government's next plan on managing net migration. And this is what the UK Prime Minister said.
But what I can tell you is, what I've done in the time I've had this job is already start to bring them down because we've taken action to change things. So last year, the numbers were down by 10% already. And this year, the number of visas that we've issued is down by around a quarter. And the forecasts show that we're on track to halve net migration in just over a year's time. So that shows and hopefully gives people some confidence we're now heading in the right direction. To give you an example of some of the things we've done, we've clamped down on abuse of the social care visa, tightened up the number of dependents that students can bring, and also raised the salary so that you have to earn £38,500 to come here on a work visa.
Okay.
Now, these measures are now starting to have an impact. You've seen that this year, as I said, numbers down by a quarter, forecast to fall by a halve overall for net migration.
So are you making that pledge now? What's your promise to drive net migration down?
Yeah, well, what we've said we'll do is have actually a migration cap that's voted on in Parliament, so all your members of Parliament will vote every year on the number of migrants that will come. Well, that's, I said, the forecast at the moment is the numbers to halve, and then what we want to do is continue reducing it every year thereafter. But the key thing is here is there will be, for the first time, a legal cap on all migration so that we can guarantee that the numbers do continue to come down.
David Cameron, 2010, tens of thousands, reduced net migration. May 2017, Theresa May reduced net migration to tens of thousands. Boris Johnson, 2019, committed to making sure overall numbers come down below the then net migration figure of just over 250,000 people. Why should anyone believe anything that you say on immigration? Why?
And I can completely understand people's cynicism about this, but what you can add to the end of that list, since I've been in charge, numbers down 10% and visas issued this year down by a quarter. Right, so that's I've had this job for 18 months.
So yes, you've heard what the UK Prime Minister has to say on their next plan to continuously try to put in some new measures to make sure that the number of people leaving the country compared to the number of people coming in is actually increased to ensure that net migration, ultimately reduces. So yeah, but we've really talked about the problem. We've talked about how this is going to affect international students, how this is going to affect those who are currently in the UK on temporary visa. But there's really not been much conversation around what exactly is the way forward. Now, this is the situation. What do we need to do? And I think that's what this video is really going to be all about. And it's really important. I'm going to make sure, touch base on different visa categories for those who are currently now in the UK. Okay, so it's no longer a public knowledge, or it's no longer a news, rather, it's a public knowledge that, those coming to the UK on the health and care visa going forward for March 11 are no longer allowed to bring in their dependents. And something really funny happened a couple of, weeks ago. I had a chat with someone who, was on a student visa. Then the husband got a job as an desk assistant with an agency sometime in April, I think, late April, thereabouts. And I was surprised for them to actually contact me to say, oh, we apply for a dependent visa. And I'm like, it's not a news. You can't apply for a dependent visa if you get, an health and care visa after, March 11th. But anyway, it's really important for us to, and when we make videos like this, people are like, oh, people are back again. The truth is, the fact that you are informed or you are aware doesn't mean other people are aware. There are so many people who are not even aware or not, they don't really have full understanding of what all of this policies is all about. That's why people like us make videos like this to make sure everyone is informed. And when you're making your decisions, you're making your decision from the standpoint of having all the information at your disposal. So now, talking about the the latest updates around immigration, all of these restrictions happening, the question is, what then is the way forward? And one of the things I advise people, to be honest, is that now the fact that UK is where we all are doesn't mean we all have to remain in the UK. There are so many other opportunities in and outside, different developed countries that you can leverage on. People are going into the US on the B1 visa. That's a temporary visa for business. So going to US, do some businesses, earn some living, and find a way to get their green card. And and this is one visa category people don't really talk about. Everyone is so focused on the B2 visa. That's the visitor's visa. You can also get a B1 visa to the US, and you're allowed to do businesses in the US. It's a temporary visa, of course, but you know the way the US is, it's not like every other developed countries. Being in the US, you can actually be on the visitor visa or any of this temporary visa and still be able to strive and live well. So I think people need to start exploring other opportunities outside, the United Kingdom. Also, the Canada also is also a place people should start looking out to. There are loads of programs introduced by the Canadian government that allows people to move into the country, on visas, and eventually a couple of years later they get their permanent residence. Like it's really sad to be honest. I remember when I came to the UK in 2021, a couple of my friends that went to Canada when I came into the UK, many of them already had a permanent residence. And for me, I think I still have about 4 years before I can get my own permanent residence here in the UK. So it's really although there's so many reasons why I personally love the UK, to be honest. I think one of the major reasons I love the UK is the fact that if you put in the work, you're going to get a reward. And I think it's practically same in most developed countries, to be honest. But I love the UK particularly because I wouldn't say because I'm getting quite a lot of opportunities. Trust me, I put in the hard work for those that have been following this channel. But I think if you put in the hard work here in the UK, you definitely be able to get a reward. And there are loads of opportunities here in the UK also. However, as one of my friends would always say, the fact that someone is flourishing in the UK doesn't mean you're also going to flourish. So if you say that the UK is not working for you, it's time to start looking elsewhere and leverage on other opportunities outside. Now, aside from the healthcare, opportunity in Canada, for those who don't know, Canada will be opening up its border for healthcare assistants to get, the permanent residence upon arrival in Canada. How interesting is that? So, if you're an healthcare assistant or you've got, experience working as an healthcare assistant here in the UK, you definitely want to check out that pilot program, on Canada website and start looking at how you can leverage on the opportunity of maybe into Canada as an healthcare worker. So there are also lots of other opportunities in Canada. All you need to do is to make sure you get all the right documents, right information, and put your application in the pool, waiting for them to invite you for the next stage of moving into Canada as a permanent resident. So yeah, information is key, and even in the UK, there are lots of things. In my last video, I talked about you being able to leverage on the innovator founder visa, and with this innovator founder visa, there's no minimum. There's no amount required for you to have. You just need to have like a realistic business idea, and you don't even need to start a business to get the universal final visa. You can actually propose that you will be starting a particular business, and you'll be able to get the innovator founder visa. But anyway, I think later this week or latest next week, I should be doing a full video on the step-by-step process on how you can get the innovator founder visa here in the United Kingdom. So, guys, and also for those on post-study work visa, the post-study work visa is not a time for you to, only work. It's a time for you to build your skills, build your competence, take up professional exams that can help you land a professional job in the UK. I had a chat with someone who is trying to get an accounting job in the UK, and the first question I asked him is, "Do you have a CIMA certification?" I was like, "No, I don't." And my question is, "How do you plan getting an accounting job in the UK without CIMA?" I don't see how possible that would be. So, and this person is on post-study visa. His post-study visa is going to expire in the next 8 months or thereabout. And the question I asked is, what have you been doing in the last 1 year, 4 months? Should at least even if you haven't got your CIMA, you should be in the process of getting your CIMA certification to work as an accountant here in the UK. So, honestly, for those on post-study visa, this is the time to start building that skills. I know you need to make money, but you need to like strike a balance, while working, to make money and also trying to get into that space that you want. Trust me, it takes a whole lot of hard work. I'm a testament of what hard work can actually give you here in this country. I remember going for my long hour, 13-hour shift. I'm going to come back home, pick up my laptop, have my shower, pick up my laptop, start making videos for the YouTube channel, at the same time looking at my data analysis course. And for those that follow my channel, I was able to get my skilled worker visa about 3 months before the end of my master's program. So yeah, hard work pays. And if you're a student also, it's time to start volunteering, start taking on voluntary roles to help build that your portfolio and build your work experience here in the United Kingdom. The truth is, there are lots of opportunities here in the UK. You just need to pay the price to leverage on all of those opportunities. So I hope you find this video inspiring or insightful, informative, whichever one works for you. If you do, please click on the like button. And if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And for returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.